I would like now everyone to mesmerize with the information I'm going to give, pretending Maria hasn't said anything. So today, I'm turning 49. It's my birthday. I made it. I did it. And I'm saying that because historically speaking, I shouldn't be here. So if I had been born on the beginning of 1800s, my life expectancy would have been 40. Beginning of 1700s, 35 to 40. So I'm standing here today as a midlife, as a mid-age woman, whatever it means. However, if I had been born a few centuries ago, I would not be standing here because I would not have lived long enough for that. So age-related issues would not have been my problem on that time. Being alive would have been my problem. Or in fact, being dead would have been my problem. So as an NHS GP and a menopause specialist, I would like to use menopause as an example to give you some perspective about woman's evolution toward history. So the word menopause was first used by a French physician, Charles Pierre de Gardin, in 1821. He described it as la menopause. Is there any French speaker here? No? How do you say? La menopause. La menopause seems very elegant, yeah? Like a perfume, Chanel No. 5, with a hint of midlife crisis. So, meno, he chose because from Greek it's monthly, and pause is a pause. It's a pause of monthly menstrual period of ladies. But anyone that has experienced it, and 75% of female population will have symptoms, know that is anything but a pause. It's a completely system update. Do you know when you go to bed to sleep and you leave your phone next to your bed, and next day in the morning you say, oh, hello, your phone has been updated. And you pass for the whole entire day without knowing how to use it. That is exactly what menopause is. But at least the medical society finally had looked at it. At least we were getting some attention. So the medical society was looking at us. Look, these ladies stopped having periods. They gave a name of la menopause. And they are usually angry, irritable, forgetting words, brain fog, crying without no reason. So what it is? Hysteria. And that was exactly the diagnosis given. What's the treatment? They need to be locked up in a mental health institution. In fact, this city in London there was so many mental health institutions for that reason. So, fast forward, I, for instance, would be probably locked up with a red triangle on my door, like severe hysteria. She can only come out of this room with her one-to-one carer. So I'm survived, but now I'll be locked up. Anyway, fast forward a few decades, and in then we start to realize the narrative change, and we start to realize that the menopause was not due to madness, but for some deficiency. The ladies are deficiency. And the deficiency came out to be hormonal deficiency. So then in 1930, a Canadian gynecologist started to do a lot of research on hormones. And in 1960, the hormone replacement therapy was booming. On the 70s, on the 80s, on the 90s, the women were symptom-free. And most of all, they were living the female fabulous years until 2002, when everything changed due to a huge control trial, a random control trial research in the United States, who connects HRT with the breast cancer. It was a big research done over a period of 15 years. It spent more than $625 million. It used 162 million women. So it was a huge research. Even nowadays, we use a lot of data from that research. However, the connection between HRT and breast cancer was completely misunderstood. And unfortunately, even nowadays, we're still living with the consequence of that trial. Because I see on my daily basis, on my clinic, women come to see me confused with misinformation, but most of all, suffering with and thinking that they just need to put up with that. And it's quite remarkable because 1/3 of a woman's life is living on the postmenopausal period. Now imagine it, 1/3 of your house being ignored, or 1/3 of your job, or 1/3 of your holiday package, or 1/3 of your Netflix signature. 1/3 of the life is living on the menopause period. So now we stand here and I'm turning 49, and I feel grateful. I feel grateful not only for one more year of my life, but also because we can finally have an open conversation. If I had been living a few centuries ago, I would be dead. 100 years ago, I would be locked up, like label completely hysterical. 50 years ago, I would have given hormone replacement therapy without any conversation. 20 years ago, I would have told you stop it. And now, how about today? What's happening today? So today, I'm standing here, blowing my 49 candles, and happy not only for my age, but for being able to stand up, not only for myself, but in memory of all these ladies that suffer in silence, misunderstood, and with little support. Margaret Thatcher was prime minister for the first time at the age of 53. Re-elected at 57, and once again 61. It's the most influential time of a woman's life. Mother Teresa first opened the home of dying at the age of 42, and got the Nobel Prize at the age of 62. So, as Mother Teresa said, yesterday is gone. We have only today. Toastmasters.